Hello and welcome back to Tavern Talk, here at my little spot in the universe. Full disclaimer, I am recording this before the first video is posted. I may have record more before the channel gets up. I'm working on putting everything together, so please bear with me while I figure this out. It is also quite early in the morning. My two little gremlin cats decided to wake me up a few times in the middle of the night. So I'm going to play Tavern Talk, drink some chia water, and have a small bowl of berries while I motivate myself to be a person for the day. But let's get right to it. I'm so excited to get back into playing this game. It's so much fun. Alright, new friends and former enemies. Blueberry. My shipment of infusions finally arrived this morning. I now have access to some fake crystals and frozen pine cones. Together with Fable's Phoenix chilies, I have 3 infusions now. I'll unpack them later when I have some time. I have a feeling they'll be of use soon. Oh, hi, friends. So, Inky. A drink for me and this lanky pal. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm trying to figure out what is happening. This wanted poster over here. Wait, I can click on this? Oh. Oh. Okay. Understood. I was hoping I could get a closer view of that image. It's good to see you too, Lynn. She meant to say please. Welcome back, Fable. You look alive. Thank you. I am. That seems like a given. I'm just happy to see them doing well, and with a friend. We ain't friends. We're not? Lynn? So you two didn't form a party? No. Oh. Then what's the drink about? They may be very annoying, but they did just help me solve a family feud of 10 years. So I do owe them some of your dishwater. Hey! Rude! Family feud? I wouldn't call it a feud. More of a miscommunication. No, it was a feud. I feel like feud implies a certain level of hostility. I was gonna kill him. I thought that was a joke. It wasn't. Oh. But no one died. No. Alpha here is able to prevent that. It's Fable. Whatever. Lynn, cut the attitude. Be a polite person, please. Thank you. Does this perchance have something to do with your quest? It does. I stopped her from killing the werewolf. Elaborate, please. I was going to kill the werewolf. They stopped me from killing the werewolf. What's not to get? A lot. I think she's confused because the quest was to save the villagers from the werewolf. And now it sounds like I saved the werewolf from you. Which I did. Kind of. I also remember you saying you didn't want the quest, Lynn. I didn't. Was there by chance. Crazy random happenstance. Sure, they were both stealing sheep. Was not. Sure was. Adventuring don't pay what it used to. That doesn't mean you steal. See, Fable understands what I'm saying. Mind your own business. How did any of this lead to a successful quest? Well, where do I start? Blueberry. How about at the beginning? Right. I was born on a half-crescent dreaming moon. Not that far back. Of the quest, Fable. Right. The quest. Traveling there was no trouble. I know enough shortcuts to travel through the Ashen Grove swiftly. I reached the borders of Tregarin right around dusk. The Ashen Grove thins out around there, and you can catch a glimpse of the wide fields and vineyards, as well as see one farm after the other. An idyllic sight. Well, at least before sunset. Do you have trouble in the dark? Emotionally? Visually? A little. I mean, I reckon I can still see more than a human could, but darkness, and I am no owl. Yeah, what do they have? Dark vision up to 60 feet? If I remember correctly. I am probably remembering very much not correctly. Thank God, you're already weird enough. Girl, you are just taking shot after shot at my girl Fable. Stop it. Imagine the damage you do if you could turn your head all the way around. Who says I can't? Oh, I like this sass Fable. Just kidding. Anyway, luckily darkness doesn't affect my hearing. Not the normal kind. What? Nothing. Okay, I heard a creaking fence and footsteps that were failing at keeping quiet. Your ears are failing at being small. So I snuck closer and saw a werewolf-esque shape picking up a tiny sheep. I was petting it. Sure you were. Well, I thought she was going to eat it, so I summoned up all my courage and I stepped out of the shadows and I said, "Good evening, werewolf. Please put down the sheep." I didn't expect them to be entirely in their right mind, of course, but I wanted to be polite. And I thought I might confuse her, and maybe that would help calm her down. It confused me, alright. Who the heck sees a werewolf and the first thing they do is greet them? Someone who had a charisma drink before going on the quest. That's who. A polite person. That's who. Or an insane one. Not wrong. It worked, didn't it? Because I ain't no werewolf. He wasn't that different. But I'm skipping ahead. To my surprise, instead of a growl, the werewolf, or not werewolf, responded with a, "What?" So the confusion plan had worked, but I hadn't really expected that response. So I said again, "Please put down the sheep." And she asked, "Why?" And I said, "Well, because stealing sheep isn't very nice." And she asked who I was. No, I asked, "Who are you? A guard?" I was about to introduce myself when we heard this blood-curdling howl. Pardon while I take a sip. It sounded like someone had ripped a hole into the fabric of reality and then pierced it with a horrid yell. Please, it was barely a bark. And it made the blood freeze in my veins. I heard panting, heavy footsteps, and I barely dared to turn around. You turned around immediately. And when I did, I stared into the twisted face of a werewolf, yellow, gleaming eyes. Gleaming with jaundice. Sharp teeth, giant claws. He looked like he wanted to eat me right up. He did. Okay, Lynn, the sarcasm is not helping right now. But before I could beg for mercy, suddenly something rushed past me and lunged at the werewolf. When I regained my composure, Carolyn and the werewolf were on the ground, fighting tooth and nail. And the sheep you were holding? Obviously, I set it down at that point. Good. So you went to Fable's aid? No, that ain't it. I noticed the wolf's flannel rags. They were blue, checkered, had an uneven print. Just like the kind of stuff my uncle... Okay. Dragon likes to wear it. That old... explicitive. Hey, why can't I say that? Oh, big boom. protecting the age rating system is quite harsh. Oh, I love it. That reminds me of the TV show The Good Place, where instead of curses they used other words like fork and bench. Stop trying, Lynn. It's clearly not working. And you're causing a thunderstorm. Anyway, it was dressed like Uncle Dragon. Smelled like Uncle Dragon. Fought like him, too. I was joking when I brought it up before, you know. Haven't seen that old man in years. Was coping about it by joking. Oh no, I am too tired to be reading that. That's the only way I can talk about him these days. Because of the feud? Yes. He used to be my favorite uncle, but then he changed. Became irritable and angry, distant. Fought a lot with Uncle Fedor. Fedor? We're going with Fedor. Cared more about the moon than he did his own family. Eventually he just left, ran away, without a word. Left us and Uncle Fedor behind, worried senseless. Until we found a letter saying not to look for him and all their savings missing. So he ran away and he took all their money. Swore I was going to kill him if I ever saw him again. Always thought he just couldn't face up to his problems. Turns out his solution was just to get those problems as far away from everyone as possible. Idiot. Did you talk it out with your fists? I tried, but Elfie stopped me. I'm glad they did. How did you figure that out? Well, she was yelling at him. I didn't understand half of it, but I could tell she was angry and hurt. I tried to get their attention by telling them to stop, but they wouldn't listen, so I shot an arrow right next to both of their heads. Okay, Katniss Everdeen, let's go. My aim was a little shaky, so I did end up grazing Mr. Dragon's ear. But it got them to stop long enough to start listening to me. I threatened them that if they didn't stop to talk, I would shoot them both. I would have never done that, of course. But they must have believed me, because they actually stopped to listen. Looked mighty scary, their little pal. Oh, look how proud she is of you, Fable. Look at that face. Thank you. Question mark. I sat them down and did my best to be an insurmountable obstacle between them. Goodness gracious. If they wanted to fight, they would have to go through me. That would not have been difficult, love. That sounds rather dangerous. 'Twas. Wouldn't have stopped for them. What? You're the size of a stick. You think you could stop 2 angry wolves? Oh, well, anyway, I used the opportunity to figure out what was going on. And that's how I found out about Mr. Dragon and Carolyn and the miscommunication. Feud. The feud. Sure. Turns out that after Mr. Dragon was turned, he was too ashamed to admit it. So, one sec. Hold up. What are you again? Alright. Volcakin. So you were essentially a wolf person that got turned into a werewolf. How does that work with the transformation? No, I'm too tired for my brain to be working like that. But he couldn't stop the changes and ended up hurting all the people he cared about. That's no excuse, of course. No, it ain't. If we had known, we'd have helped him best we could. At the very least, would have built a sturdy shed with scratch-proof walls for full moons. He didn't think that would have happened, though. I'm not surprised. So he decided to fix the problem by leaving, deal with it alone, and so on. That only made it worse. Of course, he was too embarrassed to come back, so he just focused on the whole werewolf thing and not any human things, or Vukakin things, so to speak. Trying to find a cure, trying to avoid the moon, trying to find a place to sleep, stealing sheep. That's something they have in common. The sheep? No, the stubbornness and the unwillingness to ask for help. But the sheep do. Taste of your own medicine, Lynn. But they had to talk about it. That silent resentment wasn't good for either of them. And you got them to do that. The little stick is oddly persuasive. Had us talking about it before I even realized I didn't want to. Maybe because you did want to. Shock. Maybe. How did it go? Fine. We'll take some time to accept his apology. We'll have to see him change first, and apologize to Uncle Fedor and the rest. But it was good to see him again. Yawn, we so happy. Look at that face. Guess Hog did feel better than a great sword in his gut. Wonderful. Of course, there's still the problem with the whole werewolf thing. Idiot got so obsessed with the cure, he still can barely control himself. We helped him realize that even a cure couldn't change what he'd done. That he has to accept that he's different now and learn how to live again. Of course, it won't be easy. No change ever is. I learned that from you. Yeah. Thank you. But we have a group of werewolves living near our settlement. A small community that enjoys the company of our warm trees. We play charades with them a lot, and they taught me about the phases of the 7 moons and the secrets of the moon signs. That sounds like a bunch of thunder. It's real. You're a crescent moose. I need an explanation, please. Oh, she mad. We introduced Mr. Dragon to them and promised they would take him in and help him deal with his lycanthropy. That sounds great. It is. It's a happy ending. I wouldn't call it an ending. Rather the beginning of something new. So the end of one adventure is just the beginning of another one? Exactly. I like that. So, after your heroic therapy session, you two decided to grab a drink together? Got offered to spend the day at the settlement, but they don't serve anything strong enough for my tastes. Plus, Elfie was dying to get back here. Was talking about how they need to update you on everything, non-stop. Would think they live here or something. And you are appreciated, Fable. We love you too. I had to report back about the quest. I'm glad you did. They also started crafting something with the werewolves. Ah! Said something about it being for you and keep... Ooh, present? Oh, really? Yeah. It's not finished yet, but I'll let you know, I promise. That wasn't that hard, was it? Well. So a drink? What can I offer you, Lynn? Surprise me with something that fits my brawn. By which I mean make the usual. Strength never gets old. Alright, back to making little drinky drinks. One, 2, 3. A little charisma, which she could use. And some defense. Ding! Surprise! Not bad. You should do this professionally. I'll think about it. Fable, what about you? Do you have something that'll calm me down? Maybe even bring some of my agility back so you want your usual as well, ma'am? Like a swift strike back to my senses? Pardon, I just ate a very large blackberry. I've had a stressful day, night, morning, sequence of events. One, two, three. Roll defense to help against Lynn's personality. And some intelligence to help find your words. Swift strike. Ding! Ah, spinny leaves. Thank you. Wow, this is perfect. I would hope so. I'd make it for you a lot. You look tired. Have you considered sleep? They do look like they're going to pass out any second. So do you. Maybe sleep is a good idea. Carolyn, do you have a place to sleep? I can sleep anywhere. It's a talent. That doesn't mean you have to. It's depressing. I have a room available. You can stay there. Humph. Sounds good. How much? I'll count it as payment for your help with the quest. Fine. See, you're happy about that. You like me. Later, Elfie. See you late. Sure. Oh, honey. Are you heading home, Fable? Yes, I've been gone for a whole day. I need to get back and make sure everything is still growing correctly. Maybe take a nap first. Yes, that too. Did you enjoy your first quest? I did. It was scary and different from what I expected. I didn't know I was so good at pretending to be charming. You considered that you weren't pretending. Yes, very good job. Maybe you should order that drink more often. You considered you weren't pretending. You did well, Fable. Thank you. I hope that wasn't my only adventure. I think this is just the beginning. That would be nice. Do you think I'm going to save the world one day? That's a very tall order. Ha, you're right. I'm not cut out for that. That is not what I said. I didn't say that. Let's go, Innkeeper. I would just prefer it if the world didn't end. Right. But if it does, and you're the first person I'd ask for help. Maybe you should ask Carolyn first. But I'd be happy to be second. We'll see. Let's hope we won't. I like this world, and you have a point. We shouldn't hope for such calamity. Even if it would make for a good song. Or a sad one. Or both. I'm going to head home now. Do that. I'll stock up on quests for you. I can't wait. See you soon. See you soon. Oh, nighttime. What's going to happen? Oh, Dark and Broodie's back. Hi, friends. Good evening to you. Good evening. Oh, quest taken. This quest, it wasn't here yesterday. That is correct. It seems dangerous. It is. And mysterious. Sure. Like me. Uh-huh. You could be a little less mysterious by telling me your name. Zephyr. Zephyr? Did the wind carry you in? No, my legs. I want that quest. Well, you can have it. Not just literally, physically, emotionally. Oh my god. Emotionally? I want to take on that quest. Go to the castle to get the cape. I mean... Yes. Mm-hmm. You are trying way too hard, dude. Well, no one has gone to the castle yet, so if someone would like to go, they would be welcome to. So you know of the castle? Yes. It seems strange. It is. A vampire lives there. I heard rumors, whisperings, of a strange, fiendish woman residing there. What a coincidence. Me too. Has she ever frequented your tavern? No, not recently. But she has. Once. Had a vampire mixer. Interesting. So she was only here at night? Why does your scarf keep flipping up and down? Up and down. What is the point? What is it telling me that I am not understanding? Yes. Would you say she was unnaturally pale? Oh my god. No. She had a lot of makeup on. But below that mask. Sure. Yes. Would guess she looks pretty dead below that. What kind of drink did she order? Blood. Interest. You sell blood? Of course. Whose blood? Did you hear about wolves avoiding the castle? Really? All of them? Yes. She has a lot of werewolf traps set up. But all animals seem to steer clear of Maro Classo. Words today. I am so sorry, my goodness. They say its doors are always locked, so nothing can go inside or leave. And anything that tries to merges into her land in one way or another. As a grave, a pile of decorative bones, dirt feeding rotting flowers. They say death clings to her doorstep like an everlasting melody. Sounds like a strange place. Like a tomb for something still alive. Or for a goth. Goth or vampire, she seems to be a thief. It appears so. Do you not sympathize with that? Thievery is an honorable skill, but it must be performed in secret, or you're not worth the coins you pocket. Also, stealing a man's cape is just plain rude. I suppose. Only thing worse than that is stealing a man's hat. Not if it's cursed. Especially then. Point is, if you can't defend yourself from having your trophies reclaimed, you must live with the consequences. The consequences being you? Exactly. Definitely sounds like you know what you're doing. Of course I do. I am one with the shadows and the wind, gone before they even notice I'm there. So you could easily swipe something else along with the cape, right? Certainly, gold, gemstones, other treasures, whatever pays the bills. What about some interior decorations? Like what, for example? Just something to pretty up my tavern a bit. Yes, take advantage. Maybe something useful that also doubles as a decoration? Like a chair? Stealing a whole chair sounds a little too ambitious for your first quest with me. I'd prefer something smaller, like a little trinket. Oh, I love a trinket. My walls are still a bit empty. Wait, you're being serious? Do I look like I'm joking? I love a trinket. Absolutely. A memento that once belonged to an eccentric vampire sounds like a wonderful addition to the tavern. I'll see what I can do. You won't be disappointed. Well then, I trust you to deliver yourself to her doorstep and the cape back to me, along with a neat little addition to my interior design. Sounds like I'll need a few stamps. Would you like some? No, too traceable. How about a drink then? I could do with one of those. I heard your drinks inspire transformations of great magnitude. Allow you to dip into parts of yourself that you weren't previously aware of. Raise yourself up from your shadow. Say, what do you trade for them? Secrets, a joke. Secrets. Secrets. I have many. Grant me one. I shall. I know this may come as a shock to you, but I was here before. Just yesterday. You may not remember because you barely noticed me in the shadows. I was so stealthy, I spent hours just watching you from afar. No, I don't like this. No. That is definitely a secret. You cleaned a lot of glasses, served everyone with a smile. You looked so worried after the adorable green one left. Like you thought they might trip straight into a monster's maw. And you're swift with your hands and fast with the knife. Alright, enough secrets. You may have one of my renowned drinks. And some of my renowned infusions. In fact, I just got a fresh shipment today. Was finally able to unpack them. Infusions. Intriguing. What vile magic do you have to offer? There is nothing vile about my gorgeous drinks. For your purposes, I think you could benefit from either some fey crystals or a frozen pine cone. The frozen pine cones have absorbed some of nature's icy properties. They can help you form a magical frost barrier that will hurt those trying to harm you. The fey crystals hail straight from Avalon, allegedly. If consumed, they'll turn you invisible, eventually, and for a bit. The duration is a bit unpredictable. I've also got some Phoenix chilies, but I don't think those would be very useful for your situation. Interesting. So what dark depths of yourself are you looking to explore? I fear that Lady Evelyn may be of the undead nature. Yeah, vampire. This has been established. So I must be strong and vigorous if I want my stake in her heart before her fangs are near my neck. Though that does sound appealing. Strength I can do. And some frost armor should help with the fangs. Or perhaps the smarter route would be to evade her wrath entirely. To out-stealth her and steal the cape from right under her pale nose. So that she may lie in the shame of having lost against me. You're having way too much fun, dude. I think such an approach would require a certain amount of dexterity, a swift strike. And some invisibility could help with staying unseen, should my speed and agility not be enough. Help me with the decision, innkeeper. Your wisdom is no secret, is it? Okay, I have to be careful of having around with other ingredients. Oh, okay, they're hanging from the little rope. Oh, that's so cute. So we got the chilies, the pine cones, and the crystals. Cute. They might alter the drink in a way where I have to use different ingredients than usual. I should make sure to keep an eye on the coaster shape so that I mix the correct recipe. Maybe I should even try adding an infusion first and adjusting the drink from there. Let's give it a try. Alright. Alright, we have to make a decision. I feel like even though Kyle said he's not with Evelyn anymore, he was still calling her beloved. I feel like if we kill her, it might make him mad. Not sure about that. So let's go Swift Strike. I'm usually one to avoid violence anyway. And with Swift Strike, they wanted the invisibility, which was the crystal. Oh. So this gives negative strength, positive intelligence, positive dexterity. Oop. Interesting. Alright, that's 2. So 2 maxes out there. She's got some intelligence. One shot of defense is the same. And yeah, that seemed to have fixed it. Yeah, okay. Ding! Let's try that. Here you go. A drink that all vampires fear. Garlic breath? Not quite. But that's a good name. May I steal it? As I'm thinking about your putting down, innkeeper. You don't ask for permission before you steal something, innkeep. That it's no longer a clever ruse, but a mere trade. I see. Did you hear about my new drink? The garlic breath. Ha! Good one. It tastes like, not garlic, but just as fearsome. To a vampire. You don't find garlic scary? Garlic is life. Garlic runs through my veins. No, only the absence of it. Yes! Yes, okay. I can finally agree with you on something, sir. That makes 2 of us. Hopefully this will help me evade her. I'm not prepared for a fight, but I won't need one if my steps are swift and quiet as the wind. And if she can't see me, goodbye, innkeep. I would say pray that the sun will carry me back to you. But my hopes do not lie with the realm keepers, and I shall be damned if they control my fate. Oh my god, were you in drama club? What is this? Expect to see me again after the next sunfall. If you do not, speak of vengeance. Vengeance makes for an early grave. Or for a good story. Farewell. Ooh, we got some character information. Let's go. He's an air echo? Okay. Arcana is the moon. Difficult character. They're so caught up in their own fantasies of an edgy rogue that they seem to be stuck talking or brooding like one too. Yes. He likes all things dangerous and mysterious, or at least he pretends he does. Yeah, you got a interesting mask going on there, dude. Bye. Or for a bitter end. Oh, hey, Len, you're back. I'm taking this quest. And a drink. Did you have a good nap? Great. Did you sleep well? What? Sleep. How was it? Ah, fine. Too long. Didn't sleep that much in ages. Sounds like you needed it. No, your beds are just too comfortable. It was hard to get up. Oh, that sounds lovely. I need a sleep like that. I haven't had a sleep like that in like 2 years. Of course, my apologies. I will make sure to take your feedback into consideration. Would you like a drink as compensation? I think I already said that. Make me something strong that'll wake me up and keep me up too. Let me guess. You want a Southern Brawler? Mix it up. It's good to have your favorite drink, but it's also fun to mix it up on occasion. Try something new. 1, 2, 3. I don't even have to look. 1. Boom, baby. Ding. Something strong coming right up. That is strong. Just the right amount of too much. Maybe I should draw this drink to Carolyn. No, you shouldn't. Anyway, the quest. Yes, the quest. I'm taking it. So you said. I see it is my turn to make conversation. I miss Fable. Isn't it a bit too soon for another quest? You just returned. It has been hours since I've done anything but sleep, chat, and drink. I am getting antsy. If I sit still for too long, it feels like my bones are disintegrating and I forget who I am. I think that's called boredom. It's torture. That too. Well, boring is not what I would call this quest in the slightest. Stealing from a chimera for a vampire sunscreen couldn't get more reckless than that. It could be I taking Elfie along. Fair point. Please don't. I won't. So the saliva's for a vampire? Vampire sunscreen. Can't a vampire get their chimera goo themselves? It's a wyvern chimera. Vampires and fire don't mix too well. Also, if everyone just did their own quests, the quest economy would be in shambles. I'd be out of a job. Suppose that'd be terrible for your business. Exactly. Have you ever encountered a chimera before? No, not a real one. Got me thinking, ain't it kind of blasphemous to steal from a draconic guardian? Depends. Are you religious? Guess not. No. Would it be if I was? Don't think so. Chimeras steal riches all the time, and they were created to be guardians by the protectors of the realms. So stealing something to protect someone else seems in line with the doctrine. Good thing you ain't a priest. You'd do a piss poor job. Thank you. Is blasphemy what you're most worried about? I ain't worried. Okay. Nervous? Ain't that either. Then what is it? Excitement, I suppose? Excitement? Don't laugh. I'm not laughing. I'm asking. Ah. Yes, excitement. I've never encountered a guardian before. And I've always sort of wanted to. Why haven't you? Ain't exactly easy to find one. Or to survive one. This seems like a great opportunity for you, then. It is. What's it about guardians? It's less about the guardian, more about what created it. And maybe a little about the chimera. It's got a dragon head, right? Yes. Modeled after its creator, I would guess. So let me rephrase that. What is it about dragons and chimeras with dragon heads? They're cool. I don't know what I expected. That is a 100% valid answer. Also, when I was little, my baba used to tell me bedtime stories about the dragons every night. She was a great adventurer and encountered many of their creations on her journeys. Not sure if it's true, but she always claimed she met each of the realm keepers themselves. Had little keepsakes from them and all. Words. My sword's one of those. Passed it on to me before she... passed? Left. One day she was just gone. Think she wanted to spend her last moments somewhere else. Like to think she visited one of her dragons one last time. Your family has a leaving problem. At least she left our savings alone. Fair. That sword and her stories are all I have left of her. Going on this quest, it almost feels like I'm stepping into a memory of hers. Did she ever tell you about a wyvern chimera? No. Was the only kind she never encountered. Had quarrels with those felines ones. Different varieties of scales. Even a cow one, I think. Never found a wyvern one in all her years. Would have been nice to be able to tell her about the story when I return. If I return. Oh, don't put that out there in the universe. I'm sure you will. You can tell the story to me. I don't know if I make for a good Baba, but I do enjoy a good tale. I would be an excellent Baba. I'll think about it. You already got me talking too much. This is you talking too much? So, you like dragons? I do. They're fascinating creatures, very interesting, very magical. They are fascinating and magical. Used to pretend I was one when I was little, really wanted their magic and their wings. You can just ask them for their magic, not chirp out their wings. Really? Well, I guess you can make deals with the dragon. My party did that once just for sheer survival. I ain't a priest either. Besides, I'm a warrior. Don't do all that magic thunder. Why not? I like my sword and my muscles. They're a good combo. And I don't need to rely on anyone, not even dragons. A little help never hurt anybody. Remember your uncle who ran away because he didn't think anyone would help? I'm starting to feel like this is a generational trauma thing. A little self-reliance don't either. If you say so. Does that mean you don't want a drink to pep you up, Lynn? Didn't say that. I see. That doesn't count as help. It's prepayment for me taking on your quest. Sure. Do I actually make money from any of these drinks? You'll be happy to hear that I have some incredible infusions to offer that could greatly help with your quest. Nah, that sounds unnecessarily complicated. Let's keep it simple. Alright? What can I get you then? I reckon a little bit of boost for this body couldn't hurt. Heard they're quick and toothy, so I'll need to be too hardy for its bite. Defense could be useful. Something for the brain. Baba talked quite a lot about how much they enjoy a good ruse. Maybe I could outsmart it with the right play. Ooh, I like that one. But I'd need some intelligence for that. Won't be risking it all on a bad idea. Are you sure you don't want any infusions? Just a little bit of Phoenix chili would make you fire resistant. That could be very useful in a fight. Dragons, you're stubborn. Sure, I'll try one. And on the topic of trickery, no, one is enough. Either mix defense with your weird chilies or go heavy on the intelligence. Don't need any more of your fancy tricks. I don't care which one you pick. That's your job. Figure it out. Not gonna lie, I kind of wanna give an intelligence trick. Interesting. I haven't made this one yet. It's gonna be 3 shots of intelligence. 1, 2, 3, and 2 shots of charisma. I'm interested to see where this goes. I like this plan. Hi, Undo. You're so cute. Ding! Oh my god, it's so pretty. Oh, but why do I want that? I want it as a trinket in my house. Hope you seasoned it with some trickery. It does feel weird, like my brain is sparkling. No refunds. How urgent is the sunscreen? Pretty urgent. The sun tends to not take a break, even for vampires. Maybe he should sunbathe less then. That might solve his problems. You tried telling him that. Dude's got one brain cell. Might. But when has an easy solution ever been fun? Not wrong. Good point. I'll see what I can do. Maybe they got some mice in that mangrove. Good luck. Won't be needing it. I'll be waiting to hear of your exploits upon your return. Dinner time! Yum, 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 yum. Good night. Act 5, Starlight Sonata. Alright, that is where I'm going to leave this one today. I have the motivation to go find some proper food, make me some coffee, but hopefully I'll see you back. Please leave any comments, advice below. Please try to keep any criticism constructive. We're being polite here. Thank you, and goodbye.